One of my favorite, and certainly one of the most personal talks of all the talks we give to people is called 10 Hidden Keys to Team, Time, and Serving Others. Well, that's the logical, the left brain, the rational, sequential little dude with a badge title. You have to give a talk for people to put in the convention brochure. We call it, our friends call it, Daddy, I have a question. It's the story of our son, Will, and our journey of looking at the world a little bit differently with help from his autism. It's made him a superhero to us, to those who know him and love him, and he's taught us so much about life and how we live it and work and how we work it. What are the 10 hidden keys? Well, very quickly. Number 1, you cannot expect someone else to change his behavior until you're first willing to change your own. Number 2, celebrate differently. Be very mindful about the things you choose to put on pedestals, and always remember that comparison is the thief of joy. Number 3, clarity trumps clever. Number 4, unplug, unwind, unbuzz, or you will melt down. Number 5, listen, actively listen. Don't just wait for another person to finish talking before you speak up. The greatest gift you can give another person is your presence. Number 6, come together. There has never been a better or more important time for us to come together as communities, for the whole of our natural gifts and talents to be infinitely greater than the sum of their individual parts. Number 7, process rocks. Process allows us to move forward fiercely. Number 8, black holes are doorknobs to another universe. More on that in a second. Number 9, I believe it's time we vehemently question what we think of as normal. As my friend Roy says, why is it everybody wants their children to be normal, but no one wants them to be average? And lastly, number 10 is about commitment. Commitment is the greatest expression of love, and relentlessness is the greatest expression of commitment. The magic is not in the size of your steps, but in the will to just keep going and in encouraging others to do the same. Now, let's talk about doorknobs and black holes. So Will is certainly the inspiration for and genesis of 9 of the 10, but he's the actual author of what's most certainly my favorite, and that certainly seems appropriate for a Monday, especially the last Monday of the first month of the new year, and we've got all these other Mondays facing us down in 2018. So back in 2012, when I first developed this as a TEDx talk, Will was 7, and he was into outer space in a big way, and I told him, hey Will, I'm going to talk to some folks about how to live better lives and how to be more awesome. Do you have any advice for him? Now, Will was pretty much nonverbal until he was about 5. So I'm just thankful. I'm thankful that we have this on video. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, with advice on how to be more awesome, William Reese Miles.
Black holes suck people and stars up, But, as you know, you don't want to get stirred up, but some scientists think it's a doorknob to another universe. But it's not true always. So keep a lookout of black holes, but it might suck you up because you might not notice when you get close to one. So be careful and have fun in space. And one more thing, do not get sucked up in black holes. Have fun!
Have fun! And so after he recorded that Blair Witch style video on my phone, I thought, well, that was cute, and maybe you did too. But I realized, Deidre and I, my wife Deidre and I, both speak fluent Will, but other people might not be so refined and distinguished. So I thought, I should transcribe that video. And as I did, I realized how brilliant our son was. It wasn't the first time I realized he was brilliant. It certainly hasn't been the last time I realized he was brilliant. Yes, he was into outer space in a big way, and I put him on the spot, so he spoke what happened to be on his mind. But he also said, in saying black holes are doorknobs to another universe, he said, when one door closes, another opens. He said, essentially, it's always darkest before the dawn. And as I was typing that out and realized what he was saying, I was like, right? My son is a genius. Thank heavens he favors his mother. You could also argue that he was even modeling what Jesus did in Luke 23 as he was dying on the cross. He said, Father, forgive them. They know not what they were doing. And then they divided his clothes by casting lots. Jesus had been brutally assaulted, relentlessly assaulted by his captors, and one of his last acts was to look to the heavens and forgive them. As dark as things were for him, he looked to the light, and in doing so, he became the light for all of us. And in Matthew, in the Sermon on the Mount, similarly, he instructed his disciples, you have heard that it was said, eye for eye and tooth for tooth, but I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to them the other cheek also. And if anyone wants to sue you and take your shirt, hand over your coat as well. If anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go with them 2 miles. Give to the one who asks you, and do not turn away from the one who wants to borrow from you. You have heard that it was said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. This week, something's going to happen to you that upends your apple cart, that upsets your universe. Know that these trials are opportunities to find strength in grace. Know that a whole world opens up when you turn the other cheek. Know, as you start this week, that black holes are doorknobs to another universe.